This is assuming that the home equity rate is less than 5%. You want to put it into a life insurance retirement plan that pays at least 4.5% tax-free. That's like getting really close to 8% in the real world because it's growing tax-free. You're not paying any tax on the interest. Otherwise, it would be a bad deal. Okay? Or an annuity paying at least 3% tax-free with a surrender fee period of less than 10 years. And a good contract. Do not enter into one of those nasty contract ones. You could put it in a money market account for emergencies, but you're going to lose money there. You're better off leaving it in your home equity just sitting there. Or in your home equity line of credit just sitting there waiting for emergencies. And finally, if you are under 45 and you know what you're doing, and you're willing to accept the risk, and again, if you're willing to accept the risk, you could put some of that money in a mutual fund. But if you're not under 45 and you don't know what you're doing and you're not willing to accept the risk and you don't have good discipline, forget about mutual funds. Now, I'm not licensed to sell mutual funds, so I'll stop talking about them right now. But I do know that if you don't know what you're doing, it's pretty easy to get into difficulties. At any rate, remember, do not spend your home equity on stupid junk. If it isn't permanent, if it isn't an enhancement to your retirement, or if it isn't creating or adding to your wealth, it is stupid junk. I know that's not very nice, is it? But it really is. It's not good. And last, and this one's not a joke at any stretch, you'll want to figure out how to buy some long-term care insurance. You could do this with some of your home equity money. And why am I saying this? Because there are so many people staring assisted living or skilled nursing in the face, and they have no means to pay for it. Give yourself, your in-laws, your significant other a fighting chance. Why? Because long-term care, assisted living, skilled nursing, those things cost upwards of $95,000 a year, depending on where you live. It could be more. The average stay is 2.5 years. That's $237,500. If you don't have a spare $250,000 that you can set aside in an investment to cover this cost, then I suggest very strongly that you spend the $2,500 plus or minus per year to insure against the loss of all you have worked for. Now, that $2,500 premium plus or minus is an estimate. The rates vary based on geography, gender, age, and whether or not, guess what, you smoke. So we'll have a show on that again soon, but it does have a lot of moving parts. But it's still a valuable piece of insurance, especially if you have a really good career and your in-laws are looking at you taking care of them by moving into your house. Might be a really good Christmas gift for them. It's kind of like buying a gift for yourself. Now, the thing you don't want to do with your home equity is waste it. I watched a program called Love It or List It on TV last weekend. I know I got to get a life, right? I've watched too many of these programs. But anyway, these people wanted to upgrade their current home, and they spent $100,000 to do it. And it looked gorgeous. I mean, when it was done, it was beautiful. And they looked at new homes that were way, 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 way more money than the one that they were upgrading. And you want to know why? Because they had teenagers that were demanding more space. And I just sat there and went, what? I mean, really? At the beginning of the show, they gave a panoramic view of the current house. And it was just a cluttered, disorganized mess. Now, I'm sure some of that was to prove the point of needing renovations and to make the show more appealing. But really, it looked like, I mean, come on. Okay, it was a mess. Whatever. But the problem is Can you imagine being almost middle-aged with teens and then moving to a gigantic, expensive house, paying closing costs, realtor fees, moving fees, and a huge new mortgage to satisfy two teenagers who will then be moving out and going to college within 4 years? And wow, is that a lot of money? So, this quote a former college or colleague, I just want to say, well, suck it up, Buttercup. The renovations were lovely and the house value did increase, so that wasn't a bad play. But moving, no, 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 no. And they had to move out to get it all done. It's a lot of money to spend of your home equity and a lot of money that could have been left in your retirement fund in order to satisfy teenagers who go to school all day and then go to activities and are only there for a couple hours a day and then they go to sleep. I'm just saying, be real, people. Now, maybe they needed to be reminded of this advice from my last show. Change your expectations to match your current income. Too many people say crazy stuff like, but you don't understand. Remember that? I have to spend this. My family expects it. No, your family does not expect you to go broke in order to please them. Okay? Change your expectations to match your income. And you need to decide which priority is which. So steer clear of excessive debt, and handling your home equity is one way to do that. But avoid using it to help those who refuse to help themselves. Ask, if it were me, if the situation were reversed, would they step up? Hmm. Maybe they could sleep in the spare room, but don't take out a loan to help them. And learn the key question and ask yourself prior to every purchase. Remember the key question: do I want it or do I need it? You need your home equity. The reason that the baby boomers and their parents have wealth is because they bought a house, they stayed in it, they managed their budget, they lived within their means, and they didn't spend a great deal of money on silly stuff. And you could do that too. It isn't an old prude idea. It's tried and true methodology to create and maintain wealth that will last generations if done correctly. And a budget that is customized to your goals, starting at a young age so you always live within your means, this is a beautiful program. And that will help you create even more home equity, more wealth. And if you let it sit there, it's only wealth on paper, but it's still wealth. You can tap into it later. That's the beauty of home equity. So while you're thinking about creating wealth and trying to decide, why do I need home equity? Remember, that is the foundation that wealth is built upon. Now, what happens to your home equity if you live there your whole life and you come to the end and you still own that house, but it's all paid for? Well, whatever you want to happen to it. That's what a will is for. You can pass that home equity on to future generations so that they don't have house payments, or you can allow them to sell the house and use the proceeds to finance their own life and their own dreams. Or quite honestly, if you really wanted to, I guess you could donate it to charity. It's up to you. But the point is, you need to be doing that which helps you reach your goals and create your version of wealth and your version of retirement and your version of life. That's what having money is all about. And to do that, you need to have a little bit of help. You need to be reasonable and disciplined, and you need a coach, both for your personal spending and your personal habits. You need that. And then you too can have an American dream, a house with equity, and then you have to sit there and go, oh my gosh, I have equity. What am I going to do with it? Oh dear. And then you can decide. So when you go out to look for a house, if you're in that enviable position where you haven't yet bought a house and you're young and you're starting out, think about the house not as a starter house, but think about it as a house where you're going to stay for a while so that you build up as much equity and as much wealth as you possibly can. And if you need help, start by visiting our website, of course, and enroll in the Forget You program. Or visit the landing page, that's what it's called, I think, of IamReadyForAHouse.com, and you can download the handy brochure that will help you get ready for our house. It's free. All you have to do is go to that site, IamReadyForAHouse.com, and download it. So that's what you do with home equity. First and foremost, don't forget, don't waste it, and don't let anyone intentionally twist your arm into getting you to waste it either, because that's yours, and that is your ace in the hole to creating true and lasting wealth. Now, you know what I'm going to say before I say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Be grateful, and you will attract good things. Until next time, I'm Rhonda Cobb, the Money Coach, and take good care.